Good morning. Hi, Dr. Cortez. Basta kayo dyan. So, we're going to continue the discussion. I want to share to you the lesson that I read about types of obligations. I'm just sharing this one. I'm not teaching to you this, guys. I'm just sharing. So ito yung aking nabasa about types of obligations. So background lang, last time we discussed I shared to you yung mga types of obligation based on real and personal obligations. Di ba pinag-usapan natin nakaraan? Pag real, ito yung you have the obligation to deliver a tangible products, tangible goods. Pag sinabing personal, you have the obligation to do something or not to do something. Ito yung ating nag-usapan nakaraan na types of obligation. At ngayon naman, we are going to discuss, to share with you yung another classification naman ng obligation. But before we go to those things, I want to share to you itong outcomes na pwede nyo makuha after you read, you view my video recording. Understand the key characteristics of unilateral, bilateral, legal, moral, natural, civil, positive, and negative obligations. Ito yung aking i-share sa inyo ngayong araw na to. And explain how a unilateral obligation involves one party making a promise or performing an action, while a bilateral obligation involves mutual promises between two parties. And provide examples of situations where each type of obligation arises. Example, unilateral contract versus a bilateral contract. So, ito yung aking isi-share, no? So, just a disclaimer, I'm just sharing. I'm not teaching this lesson para yung mga iba na nasa business ay mayroon din makuha kahit konti sa aking sharing ngayong araw na to. And ito yung aking mga topics na i-share ko sa inyo ngayon. The types of obligations based on sanctions, type obligations based on negativeness and affirmativeness, and type of obligation based on person obliged to deliver yung prestation o yung subject matter. So, let's start. But before I start this one, pwede bang pasuyo? Pwedeng favor to click the subscribe button. Yan, salamat. Ang una nating types of obligation, we can classify the obligation based on sanctions. So, may mga klase ng obligations. In fact, tatlong klase ng obligations based on sanctions. So there are various bases for the classification of obligation. So under are a few of them. So today I want to share to you yung tatlong klase ng pag-classify ng obligations based on three bases. Yung una, from the point of view of sanction. Under this kasi, we have three types of obligations. Sabihin, ano yung mangyayari sa kanila pag hindi na-fulfill yung kanilang mga obligation. May sanction ba? Anong klase ng sanctions yung i-impose sa kanila? Kasi pag sinabi nating sanction, if I may read this one, hanap tayo ng definition sa Google. So I'm referring to Google. the specific meaning of sanctions. So sa obligations in contract, sanctions means a threatened penalty for disobeying a law or rule. So that is official permission or approval for an action. So parang basic dito yung penalty siya, no? Penalty to be imposed a person just in case that he does not fulfill yung obligation, sanction or penalty. Ayan, yun ang ating basis ng first classification of obligation. And let's move on. Sa una, yung unang type ng obligation based on sanction is the civil obligation. So, civil obligation, also called perfect obligation, the sanction is juridical process lang. So, juridical process lang ang mangyayari, not a criminal one. So, ang sample ng mga obligations na juridical process lang ang pwedeng mangyari or pwedeng impose or pwedeng penalty. Example number 1. John promises to pay Peter his debt of 1,000 pesos. Yan. So, ibig sabihin, yan ang kanyang obligation. Pag si John does not fulfill his promise to Peter, hindi naman kulong kundi juridical process lang. Ibig sabihin, it can be extrajudicial settlement. Kasi lang naman yan, civil obligation lang naman. Hindi naman siya criminal, hindi naman siya criminal liability. Civil liability lang daw siya. And another example ng civil obligation, refrain from driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. So, meron kang obligation na ganito. Ibig sabihin, tayo yung nahuli, example, hindi ka naman ikukulong. Juridical process lang. Like, nahuli ka ng DA or police officer, no? Under influence of alcohol. Hindi naman kaagad kulong Civil lang yan. Civil liability lang. It's either meron kang babayarang penalty or hearing lang. Kasi yung sa mga napapanood ko sa YouTube, no? Mga ganitong kaso, ang kanang juridical process, mag-hearing lang sila Yan, di naman sila ikukulong. And the third one, the wearing seatbelts and ensure passengers do the same. You have this civil obligation. Kasi for example, sa Philippines, na meron tayong law when it comes to seatbelt. Hanapin ko yung dito. Seatbelt law sa Philippines. Seatbelt law in the Philippines. Ito yung for private vehicles except for jeepney, jeep, vans, buses. Passengers are required to use their seatbelt devices at all times. The drivers of public motor vehicles must immediately inform and require the front seat passengers to wear seatbelts upon boarding or they won't be allowed to board. Ito yung seatbelt law ng Philippines, Republic Act 8750. 875. Ibig sabihin, may seatbelt act. So meron ka sigurong penalty dito. Kung ikaw ay hindi sumunod yan sa wearing of seatbelt. Kasi meron tayong RA 8750. So, let me see kanyang penalty. 8750. So, what will happen? Some people also don't realize the danger of not wearing a seatbelt. Ignorance of the law. Pag hindi mo daw alam, sir, paano pag hindi namin alam yung law about seatbelt? But unfortunately, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Meron ka pa ring penalty. So meron kang penalty for the driver ng motor vehicles. Ano ba specific dito? Specific penalty. Pag hindi kayo sumunod, no? Makita nga dito. Penalty. Ayan, ito yung penalty, oh. Failure to follow the provisions of the law means less security inside the vehicle, as well as payment of LTO fines. Ayan. Hindi naman kulong, pero meron kang susunod juridical process. Meron kang civil liability, LTO fines against the driver, operators, or owners of the vehicles. So magkano yung penalty pag hindi ka sumunod? Okay, I can't find a specific penalty. But anyway, importance, no? Civil liability lang, no? Hindi naman kulong. Alright, so yun yung mga example ng civil obligation na dapat nating sundin whether you are a business person. So let's move on for the second types of obligation. This one is the natural obligation. So natural obligation, this is a duty not to recover what has voluntarily been paid although payment was no longer required. A natural obligation refers to a duty that is recognized by the legal system but can't be enforced by legal action. So basically dito sa natural obligation, recognized by the legal system pero hindi naman sa masyadong batas. Basta ikaw ay naka-recover ng isang binayaran ka pero hindi naman talaga lumampas na yung time ng pagbabayad sa'yo pero may nagbayad pa rin sa'yo, may natanggap ka pa rin. So that is your duty, not to recover anymore. So specific samples, John owes Peter 1,000 pesos. Si John may utang kay Peter 1,000. But the debt has already prescribed. Pag sinabi yung prescribed, lumampas na, no? Lumampas na yung time para magbayad si Peter, para magbayad si John kay Peter. Example, usapan 2 taon. Pero after 3 years, nagbayad si John kay Peter. So may tinanggap na pera si Peter dito. Ang nangyari dyan, lumampas yung prescription period. The debt, yung utang, has already lapsed or prescribed. Now, if John, knowing that it has been prescribed, nevertheless still pays Peter, si John, di niya alam na may prescription period palang 2 taon lang. Di niya alam, no? Nagbayad pa rin sa ngayon. Kahit lapse na. Now, in prescribed, nevertheless, still pays Peter ng 1,000. Si John cannot later on get back what has voluntarily paid. The sanction is the law, of course, but only because conscience had originally motivated the payment. So, nangyari, di ba? Si John may utang kay Peter sa loob ng 2 taon. Then after 3 years, nagbayad si John kay Peter. At tinanggap naman ni Peter. Tanong dito, si John ba ay babawiin pa? Yung binayad niya kay Peter, sabi niya kay Peter, Peter, balik mo yung pera sa akin kasi nag-lapse na pala yung time to pay. So wala na, kasi ang tinatawag nating natural obligation. Konsensya na lang ni John na kung babawiin niya yung perang binayad niya kay Peter. So huwag mo nang bawiin kasi that is your natural obligation. Connected siya sa legal system, pero hindi siya pwedeng enforce. Hindi pwedeng sabihin niya dyan na, ay, balik mo yung pera sa akin. Kasi nag-lapse pala yung 2 taon. Hindi na. Then the second example, gambling debt are not legally enforceable in court. However, if a person loses money in a private game and feels morally obligated to pay, your payment would be considered fulfilling a natural obligation, even if the law does not require. Yan. So, pag sugal. Tapos, ikaw ay nanalo sa sugal. Tapos yung kalaban mo ay sabi, balik mo yung napanalunan ko. Ay, balik mo yung natalo sa akin. So, hindi na pwedeng ganon. You cannot enforce yung ganon eh. You cannot enforce yung utang mo. O yung utang mo sa akin sa sugal. Diba? Hindi mo binabayaran. That cannot be enforced in the court. However, if a person loses money in a private game and feels morally obligated to pay, their payment would be considered fulfilled. Pag ikaw naman yung nanalo, kahit yan ay sugal, so you have that obligation to pay. Diba? Yung nanalo. Di ba pwedeng sabihin, sugal lang naman to eh. If there is a private game, you have the natural obligation. Yung pangatlong example, if someone makes a promise to give a gift or perform an act of kindness but does not follow through, there may not be a legal requirement to do so because there was no consideration. However, if the person fulfills the promise, this is so based on a natural obligation. Promise ka ng gift, right? A gift or performing an act. Then hindi mo siya hindi mo siya na-fulfill kaagad. After 1 year, hindi mo na-fulfill kaagad. Wala kang obligation to fulfill the promise. Kaya lang, meron kang natural obligation. The person fulfills the promise, they do so because of a natural obligation. So wala namang nasabing fulfill mo yung promise mo, di ba? Hindi naman tayo ganun na force natin isang tao. Wala naman tayong obligation na sabihin silang ganun eh. At wala man sila obligation na fulfill yung promise. Kaya maraming promise na nabubroken, di ba? Kasi pwede lang hindi fulfill, pwede fulfill. Now, pag isang tao na nag-fulfill ang kanyang promise, natural obligation na yan, hindi legal obligation. Kasi wala man siyang legal obligation eh. Wala namang contract. But once he voluntarily fulfill yung promise na yan, so that is natural. Okay? Example, may kaso nga yung pamangkin ay pinangakuan ng uncle na sa magpapaaral sa college. Sige, pamangkin, ako magpapaaral siya sa college. Wala namang legal obligation yung uncle na ito pa rin yun. Hindi na pwedeng i-enforce ng pamangkin. Ngayon, pag pinulfill ng uncle yung kanyang promise na magpapaaral, natural obligation na lang yun. Out of morality, out of morals, out of conscience. Yan, no? Natural obligation, voluntarily. And third one, type of obligation under sanction. A moral obligation is purely based on personal ethics. Ito yung mga keywords natin dito. Pag moral obligation, based on personal ethics or societal ethics, yung mga customs ba na nakagawian sa isang lugar, that is moral. And does not have any formal connection to the legal system. It refers to what a person feels is the right thing to do. Anong tama? Anong tamang gagawin mo? Yan ang obligation mo. That is based on your values, norms, and belief ng isang tao. Pwede siyang personal belief, personal norms, personal values, or pwede siyang societal norms, societal values, or societal belief. So, pinagkaiba ng moral, baka malito, no? Yung nauna natin, natural obligation, ito ay moral obligation. Ang pinagkaiba, ang natural obligation, voluntarily, pero connected pa rin sa legal system. Samantalang ang moral obligation, voluntarily din, kaya lang hindi siya connected sa legal system. Ang natural, connected sa legal system. Ito ang moral, connected sa societal ethics, personal values, personal norms, personal belief. Ay pinagkaiba nila, no? So, sample tayo ng moral obligation. So, the duty to be Catholic to hear Mass on Sundays and Holy holidays or of obligations. The sanction here is conscience or morality or law of the church. Katoliko, di ba? You have the duty to go to church on Sunday. Okay? Hindi sa connected sa any legal system or any law. Kaya lang, out of morality, out of personal belief, ay kayo pupuntang simbahan bawat linggo, or out of Catholic belief na lahat ng Katoliko ay pupuntang simbahan bawat linggo. So that is moral obligation. Walang nagsasabi sa yung na huwag sundin, di ba? Personally, kasi yun ang kanyang belief na dapat kong pumunta bawat Sunday. Societal, no? Walang batas nagsabing magsimba but out of personal norms, ginagawa ng isang buong group ng tao. So that is moral obligation. Now, how if a Catholic promises to hear Mass for 10 consecutive Sundays in order to receive 1,000 pesos? This obligation becomes a civil one. Example, ako yung uncle. Tapos sabi ko sa pamangkin, okay pamangkin, magsimba ka bawat linggo. Bawat linggong nagsisimba ka, bibigyan kitang 1,000 pesos. Okay? So meron na ditong involved na pera. May usapan na, no? So yung uncle ngayon, meron na siyang obligation na civil doon sa kanyang pamangkin. Kapag hindi siya tumupad at na meron silang usapan, no, or nagsulat ng kontrata, nag-affidavit yung pamangkin, o sige, i-kontrata natin. Okay? O sige, magsisimba ako. Ngayon, pag hindi magsimba siya, hindi tumupad yung uncle, hindi binigyan ng 1,000 pesos, that is civil obligation na. Yung uncle, meron ng civil liability doon sa kanyang pamangkin. Pero pag walang usapan, yung pamangkin, meron siyang moral obligation to go to church every Sunday. On example natin, you find a wallet on the sidewalk containing cash, credit cards, and the owner's identification. So legally, you may not be required to return the wallet, but you feel a strong moral responsibility to do so. Wala namang obligation, di ba, na ibalik mo yung wallet, pero bakit natin binabalik? Kasi meron tayong moral obligation or moral responsibility to do so. Hindi mo naman ninakaw, di ba? Napulot mo lang yan Okay? Ibang usapan pag yan ninakaw mo, no? Kaya, pero maliwanag dito, you find a wallet on the sidewalk. Hindi mo yan dinukot. So, wala kang responsibility legal, no? Wala naman ng patas nagsabing ibalik mo yung wallet but you have this moral obligation na binabalik natin because of your moral responsibility. Out of conscience din. Okay, the third sample ng moral obligation, donating to charity or helping a friend without expecting anything in return. So wala namang nagsabing batas magdo-donate ka to charity or helping a friend or helping somebody in need. So we don't have that legal obligation, but we are doing this out of moral obligation. That is our norm na tumutulong ka sa mga nangangailangan. Not out of legal obligation. So yun ang mga types of obligation based on sanction, civil obligation, natural obligation, and moral obligation. And the next one, I want to share this one. Ito naman yung kinds of obligation based on affirmativeness and negativeness. Under this classification, meron tayong dalawa. Meron tayong two types of obligation under this. And the first one, positive obligation. So simply means the obligation to give or to do. So kaya positive. So, obligation, sample. Pay all employees at least the legally mandated minimum wage. Positive because you have that duty to do. Bayaran, magkano bang minimum wage ngayon? Iba-iba yung minimum wage eh. Try natin minimum wage. In Metro Manila. Okay, kano ba? Ito. Sa Metro Manila and in other cities like Manila, Makati, Caloocan, Las Piñas. Okay, ang minimum wage pag mga manufacturing is 645 ang starting rate is 645 sa Manila, sa mga Metro Manila City like Manila City, Makati, Caloocan. That is 645 pag non-agricultural sector. Kasi pag agricultural sector, service, retail, or manufacturing ng mga business, ang minimum wage is 608. Pero mga nag-opisina, 645. Yung mga nasa agriculture, service, or retail like mga fast food or manufacturing, 608. Now, employers like you guys, later on, you have that duty to pay all your employees at least the legally mandated. Minimum yan. Pwedeng tumas 645. Then the second sample, ensure that employees are compensated for overtime work at a higher rate as required by law. So yung 645 is the minimum wage. No? Mababayaran dyan just in case that the work on overtime. So that is your positive obligation. For example, on regular work days, overtime pay is set at 25% of the regular hourly rate. Yan ang overtime. 25%. Ibig sabihin, pag isang empleyado ay binabayaran 100 pesos bawat oras, tapos nag-overtime siya, merong dagdag na 25% pag regular work days na. Pero pag holiday, nag-overtime siya, 30% of the hourly rate ang dagdag sa kanya. Sabihin, 100 pesos plus 30 pesos pag siya nag-overtime during holiday. So you have that positive obligation. Third sample ng positive obligation, a construction company has a positive obligation to complete the construction of a building by a specified date as per the contract with the client. So pag may napagkasunduan, so yung contractor, sabi ng kliyente, dapat by September 30, tapos na yung bahay, tapos na yung building. Otherwise, for every day of delay, may penalty na 5,000 pesos. Sabihin, yung contractor magbabayad sa client ng 5,000 pesos per day na delay. Dapat tapusin yan hanggang September 30. Then the fourth sample of positive obligation, in a divorce settlement, one spouse may have a positive obligation to pay child support or alimony. Usually husband din, no? Pag sa isang divorce, tas may minor na anak. So, the husband should still support yung anak. Otherwise, he can be accused with violation against women and their children. That is the BAUSI law. Okay, so those are sample of positive Ang next natin, obviously, is the negative obligation. Simply means the obligation not to do. Ito yung opposite. Not to do, which naturally includes not to give. Yung positive kanina, obligation to do and obligation to give. Itong negative obligation not to do and not to give. So the opposite, no? Samples tayo. The person has a negative legal obligation not to steal or engage in theft. This means they are legally required to refrain from taking something that does not belong to them without permission. Alam naman natin to, di ba, na we are refrain from stealing something. So we don't have to steal. So negative obligation. Second one, the individual has a negative legal obligation not to drive while intoxicated. Kasi may penalty, no? Mga drunken driving. So don't drive, di ba? If you are drunk. Try natin yung penalty of drunken driving sa Pilipinas. Na pag nahuli ka, yan, driving under the influence of alcohol or dangerous or illegal drugs is extremely punishable by law. Yan. So, ano mangyayari? For non-professional drivers na nag-drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, penalty, confiscation, and suspension of the driver's license for a period of 12 months. 12 months? Isang taon, no? Isang taon na ano ka, confiscated. Yan sa Pilipinas, meron tayong Republic Act number 10586. The Anti-Drunk and Drug Driving Act 10586. This law prohibits drunk drivers and drug users from operating motor vehicles on the road. Pag nahuli ka, hindi natin ng penalty, no? Pag nahuli sila. Penalties for driving under the influence. Driver's license custody. Try natin. Wala makita dito ang penalty kung magkano eh. No? Okay, wala makita dito magkano yung penalty. Pero meron tayong Republic Act 10586 that prohibits drunken driving. Okay, so next natin. The law that prohibits people from physically assaulting other people or engaging in criminal activities like theft or vandalism. So physical injury, no? Bawal ikaw ay may nahuli kang snatcher. Okay. Tapos binugbog mo, no? That is physical assaulting. Pwede kang kasuhan ng dyan, ng physical injury or assault. Kaya pag nahuli ka, hindi nila binubugbog yung tao. Or pag may nakasuntukan ka, pag may nakasinuntok, at yan na nagpa-medical certificate na siya ay meron talaga injury. So, meron kang kasong dyan, physical injury or assault. So, ganun din if you are engaged in yung theft kanina, discuss natin, di ba? Pag vandalism din, you are refrain from doing vandalism. Nagsusulat sa mga pader ng public property. Nagpipintura, that is vandalism. So hindi dapat ginagawa yan. So that is your negative obligation. Last example ng negative obligation. Employers have a negative obligation not to discriminate against employees based on race, gender, religion, or other protected characteristic. Sa Philippines, may Anti-Discrimination Act in the Philippines. So, pag ikaw ay employer, you have that negative obligation na hindi ka dapat discriminate. So, hanapin ko dito yung specific law in the country that prohibits discrimination. Ito yung Discrimination Act in the country, Republic Act 10911. This one is 2016. An act prohibiting discrimination against any individual in employment on account of age and providing penalties. So, merong batas na bawal mag-discriminate. Republic Act number 10911. Bawal hindi tumanggap ng isang employee based sa age, gender, religion, ethnicity. Kasi that is not fair, na? Pag ikaw ay ginawa mo yan, so mayroon kang violation of RA 10911 dated 2016. So, bawal din sa employer na mag-publish ng advertising that indicate limitations and preference. O, bawal din yan, no? Bawal kang dati sa mga diary, may nakikita kang mga advertisement na nakalagay 18 to 30 years old lang. Bawal na yan. 20 to 45. Pleasing personality. 5'5" in height. So, bawal na yan. You are prohibited from doing or publishing. Publish job ads that include keywords or terms hinting or at or alluding to age discrimination. So, bawal din maglagay advertisement po. Pag mag-hire ka na isang tao, ng employee, bawal din maglagay ng mga words or phrases na ganito. Pag ginamit ng mga phrases ito, discrimination yan. So, bawal. Example, bawal gumamit ng mga words na sa employment, don't use this word kasi bawal to. Example, college student, cultural fit, digital native, dynamic, energetic. Fresh graduate. Recent college graduate, bawal. Ayan, employers or contractors, you are prohibited from doing those na sinabi ko. Publication ng ads or using those keywords. Kasi that is a violation of Republic Act 10911 or the Anti-Discrimination Act of the Philippines. Ayan, no? So, yun mga samples ng ating mga negative obligations. And let's see. Ito naman ay kinds of obligation naman based on persons obliged. Mga taong tutupad or magpo-fulfill the promise or the persons obligated to fulfill. So under this classification, we have two types of obligations. So the first one, the unilateral obligation. So simply means if only one person of the parties is bound to fulfill ang isang promise, that is unilateral. From the word uni means only one, di ba? Kaya tinawag natin siyang unilateral obligation. So samples natin, John owes Peter 1,000 pesos. Therefore, John must pay Peter. O si John may utang kay Peter. So si John lang ang merong obligation dito. Si Peter, wala. Si Peter ang inutangan, di ba? So dito unilateral. Si John lang ang merong obligation to pay. Second sample, a company, Reward Company Incorporated, nag-offer ng 500 pesos reward to anyone who returns their lost company laptop. The offer is made publicly and no formal agreement. Ayan, ang keyword natin dito. Walang formal agreement is required from potential returners. Ang may obligation dito, isa lang, si Reward Company lang. Mag-offer siya ng $500 na rewards doon sa makakapulot. Magbabalik ng kanilang lost company laptop. Yung mga nakapulot, sabi natin kanina, wala naman silang legal obligation to return. Napulot lang naman nila. Pero meron silang moral obligation. So, depende na sa kanila based on their belief, moral, or values, or norms kung ibabalik nila. So, wala silang obligation to return. Pero pag out of their moral, ibabalik nila, o di maganda. Pero, si Reward Company kasi, very clear yung kanyang obligation dito na siya ay magre-reward kung sinong nakapulot. Yung nakapulot, wala naman silang obligation to return. But out of morals na lang, di ba? Third sample natin, Tech Gadgets Incorporated has a unilateral obligation to provide the $100 gift card to each of the first 100 customers who meet the condition of purchasing the smartwatch. Sample natin dito, yung customers wala sang obligation, very clear na. Pero yung tech gadget, siya lang ang merong obligation na gagawin. That is rewarding $100 gift card or giving $100 gift card sa first 100 customers. So the obligation arises solely from the company's promise and is contingent upon the customers fulfilling the condition, that is, making the purchase. Yung customer walang obligation na bumili, di ba? Yung tech gadget lang. Note, every obligation has two parties. If only one of them is bound or required to fulfill, that is unilateral. Sa sample natin ditong yung tech gadget, may dalawang tao dyan eh. The obligor, that is the tech gadget, the obligee, the customers. Pero yung customer hindi naman sa bound to do something. Yung obligor lang na tech gadget ang meron. So that is unilateral obligations. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And I know this one is my last one, my last slide for today. Bilateral. Very easy naman ng bilateral. Dalawang person, dalawang tao ang obliged to deliver, to fulfill. Both parties are bound to deliver, to do, to fulfill yung obligation. For example, like in a contract of sale, the buyer is obliged to pay while the seller is obliged to deliver. So dalawa ang bound to deliver or to do something or to fulfill. Pareho, no? Yung seller i-deliver yung title, yung land title, yung buyer to pay. So pareho silang parang sabay, kaliwaan. Kaya bilateral obligation. The second sample, an individual accepts a job offer from a company. The employment contract outlines the terms of employment, including salary, job responsibilities, and duration of employment. So since may kontrata, obligor and obligee, pareho silang mayroong responsibility or obligation to fulfill or to deliver. The company, obligation is to pay the right salary, provide training, example. The employee, which is the obligee, the employee has also the responsibility to do good in his job, or to be responsible, or to do his job responsibilities. during the duration of employment. So pareho sila. Ibig sabihin, pag empleyado hindi pumapasok, palaging late, katamad-tamad, so hindi sa kontrata, hindi sa babayaran. So merong obligation yung employee. Pero papasipag naman siya, proper proper employment, doing his job properly. So yung employer naman meron sa responsibility to pay properly yung empleyado. So pareho sila, kaliwaan. In the last sample, you sign a lease agreement with a landlord to rent an apartment. The lease outlines specific terms and conditions, including the amount of monthly rent and the duration of the lease. So pareho, no? Yung the landlord and the tenant magbayad sa landlord. Obligation. The landlord to provide the property or the space for the tenant. Pag yung tenant di nagbayad, papalisin siya ng landlord. Pag yung landlord walang na-provide ng magandang space, hindi sa babayaran ng tenant. So, kaliwaan. So note guys, bilateral obligations may be, pwede siyang reciprocal, meaning related. Or pag sinabi natin non-reciprocal, performance by one is non-dependent upon performance by the other. Yung rental ng apartment, that is related. That is reciprocal. Kasi pag hindi nagbayad, papalisin siya. Or pag walang na-provide na apartment, hindi magbayad. So they are related. So yun guys, ang ating mga sample ng obligations based on person obliges, bilateral and bilateral. So in all, sa ating summary ng araw na to, I shared to you yung tatlong klase ng basis in classifying the types of obligation based on sanctions, di ba? Based on the person obliged, based on affirmativeness and negativeness. So hoping that you have gotten something sa aking na-share ng araw na to, and hoping to see you again sa mga next video tutorial na aking ilalatag dito sa aking channel. And for the meantime, salamat sa mga magsasubscribe in advance, and this has been Dr. Cortez signing off.